Topping today's news, the Minister of Tourism forecast another big year for the #1 industry. We get more on the government's new energy reform partners, the latest on Haiti's transitional government, and Russia conducts military exercises in the Caribbean while the United States monitors. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. Thank you so much for joining us. The Bahamas is on the trajectory to have another record-breaking year in tourism. This according to Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Tourism, Chester Cooper. During his contribution to the budget debate today, Mr. Cooper says tourism has seen remarkable growth in the first 4 months of 2024.
From January to April 2024, we have seen a significant increase in foreign air and sea arrivals, marking a 12.4% rise compared to the same period in the record-setting 2023. Simply put, that translates to almost 4 million visitors in 4 months. Our diverse islands have each contributed to our stellar performance. Nassau, Paradise Island, remains the most popular destination, welcoming 1.8 million visitors from January to April 2024, a 13.2% increase over the same period last year. Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera are also showing remarkable growth, with an increase of 6.8%, 3.8%, and 3% respectively.
Minister Cooper reports a 15% increase in cruise arrivals compared to 2023, an increase in visitor average stay, and an increase in hotel occupancy rates. Mr. Cooper is also defending the ministry's increased investments in tourism programs, suggesting Bahamians in the tourism industry are feeling the impacts of the government's investment.
This significant expenditure has contributed to an estimated total direct tourism spend in the range of $6 billion, Mr. Deputy, underscoring the critical role that tourism plays in the economy. And we're growing those numbers. And you know, when we talk about numbers, the opposition and some on the other side like to try to run the narrative that Bahamians just ain't feeling it. But in a world where there are enemies of progress, I am confident to tell you that the numbers don't lie.
Minister Cooper says Bahamian businesses are recording higher revenues this year, translating to increases in business license and tax revenues, which he says will be used to rebuild Bahamian infrastructure. Meanwhile, the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation announced its participation as a platinum sponsor in the upcoming Caribbean Week, hosted by the Caribbean Tourism Organization in New York City from June 16th to the 21st. This annual event brings together tourism leaders and stakeholders from across the Caribbean to discuss the latest trends, challenges, and opportunities in the region's tourism industry. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper will be a guest speaker at the Caribbean Airlift Forum on June 19th and is looking forward to sharing insights on the Bahamas' success in airlift. The event will be held under the theme Connecting the Globe, Celebrating Diversity. The Princess Margaret Hospital, built in 1952, served as the only public hospital on New Providence for 71 years. During the ongoing budget debate, Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Michael Darville reiterated that the Princess Margaret Hospital is no longer enough for the growing Bahamian population. He gave an update on renovations and expansions to modernize and transform the hospital for better health care services.
Madam Speaker, there are those who would, for political expediency, challenge the building of a new hospital and suggest that we upgrade the existing structure. We are conducting improvements at the Princess Margaret Hospital, and on a regular basis we are doing renovations and expansion. Will continue in this budget cycle and budget cycles to come. The reality is, if we want to transform healthcare, we must move in a direction and along a pace of modernization, the need for a hospital that offers specialty services is indeed a time that has come. In fact, it is overdue.
In addition to current renovations at the Princess Margaret Hospital, Minister Darville says plans for construction on the new hospital on New Providence Highway, they're well underway despite criticisms.
Madam Speaker, on the horizon is the groundbreaking day for the new state-of-the-art facility here on the island of New Providence. To be situated approximately 50 acres of land at the New Providence Highway, just 8 miles from the Princess Margaret Hospital. The hospital will be a specialty hospital for maternal, pediatric, adolescent care. It would also hold a blood bank, a national reference morgue, and state-of-the-art diagnostics. The new hospital is indeed a prime example of this government changing the status quo to change lives. Kalani said it couldn't happen. I remember him stand up and yell, say it's pipe dreams. I can invite you to the groundbreaking.
Minister Darville said the new hospitals and upgrades to the current hospital will correct issues such as morgue overflow, women's health services, and the delivery of services for medical tourism, in addition to serving as an emergency shelter. And finally, in this segment, the government is revealing the private companies that it will partner with in its new 5-point energy reform plan. Earlier this year, the Davis administration received pushback after it was revealed that the Bahamas Power and Light Company would be outsourcing its generation, transmission, and distribution to private companies. Amid weeks of speculation, on Monday, Energy Minister JoBeth Kobe Davis officially named the partner tasked with modernizing the electricity grid and BPL's operations right here in the capital, New Providence.
To augment its generation needs in New Providence and the Family Islands, BPL relies on 145 megawatts rental generation between New Providence and the Family Islands, costing BPL about $42 million annually. The partnership with Island Grid will extend the infrastructure capabilities beyond BPL alone can do by bringing in a generation and T&D expert to pursue much-needed upgrades. It is important to share that Island Grid has over 60 years' experience in delivering best-in-class energy infrastructure under the company's subsidiary, Pike.
Minister Kobe Davis also revealed the independent power producers that will bring solar microgrids to 8 Family Islands.
Each project will be managed locally to minimize wastage, reduce generation costs, and will ultimately drive each island involved toward the goal of self-sustainability. All proposals were thoroughly reviewed and scored by an evaluation team with broad experience in the public service, energy, and legal fields. I am pleased to share that the recommended independent power producers for Abaco is Verdant and Consus. For Andros is Providence Advisors. For Luthra is Verdant and Consus. For Exuma is Inti Corporation and Osprey Construction. And Long Island, San Salvador, and the Berry Islands is Wilcom Technologies and Roswell Incorporation.
The energy reform also covers the expansion of solar energy on New Providence. Minister Kobe Davis says power producers have been selected and negotiations are underway.
Approximately 70 megawatts of solar power and 35 megawatts of battery energy storage systems will be integrated into the existing grid. 25 megawatts of the solar energy will be paired with the 25 megawatts of battery energy storage that already exists at the Blue Hills Power Plant. I'm pleased to share that the recommended independent power producers for New Providence are Eco Energy, NT Incorporation, and Compass.
Minister Kobe Davis maintains that the independent power producers are only partners with the Bahamas Power and Light Company, meant to help place the electricity company at the forefront of energy transformation. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.